Good evening and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of Football Manager 2024. Today, two games for you and the first one is in the Vars. Now this is coming off of, unfortunately, a loss in the FA Cup second qualifying round, and I kind of ended that episode saying that, you know what, I think we played well. I think we had a good game and we were somewhat unlucky to not get through that match. But that is how it's going to go sometimes. You win some, you lose some, and you've got to move on. It is unfortunate that I'm saying that kind of twice in two cups that we have been knocked out of, but we are still in the FA Vars and we're up against VCD, and they play in a wing play style, which means that we can stick to our guns, play the way we want to play. Is anyone on heavy match load? Jimmy Woods is on heavy match load. Let's get into the game and then we'll pick the team selection. So Jimmy Woods is on heavy match load, but it doesn't look like anybody else is. And this is a cup game that I do want to win. I do want to get the win here. Do a bit of average work there. Jimmy Woods is playing well this season, but again, if he's on that heavy match load, we can't really do that. You know what? Where's Jay Dimitriou? Jay Dimitriou is playing really well. Look at that. Really well, in fact. In you go. Which means that these guys who get kind of unpicked there. Takeda goes in. May and McKay. You know what? We'll do a little swap there. So Takeda gets his deep lying forward position. Kolodinsky, what you're on? You're on a medium. Is Melbourne on light? Blaney Brom could play as well. Where is Melbourne? Melbourne's on medium as well. In fact, we don't really need the double up there. So let's go with Kennedy, who can also kind of slot in there. So that's a good option. Clark covers the back line, so we want another attacking player. Let's go with Blaney Brom, because he really hasn't played that many games. And he covers like the front three there. And then Kennedy kind of covers all of that. But midfield is probably a position where I'm more likely to kind of make two changes rather than just the one. Stefan Clark obviously covering the back line means that most likely if someone gets a yellow card, then that's when he comes in. But not every single time. Not every single time. Okay. 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 Awesome. There we go. So this is the system we're going to get back into. We were doing this seasons and seasons ago. We would be playing... we would be deliberately kind of choosing those... Oh, I need to just move my game screen back. There we go. Boulay whips it in. Takeda won't go. O'Neill... It's not a great ball in, really. And now we're on the defensive. Boulay has tracked all the way back to right back. Really well done. But don't get... Okay, good. Good. I've got my cup of tea. That's a really good play, and that is a very good save from Dan Jones. But that was incredible play. Like, if that had ended up in a goal, I genuinely couldn't be mad about it, because they just played all the way through us. Okay, brings it up the left-hand side. Is it going to be a highlight for us? It might just be. Kolodinsky, there's no one here. There's no one in there. That's where McKay should have been, I guess. Okay, so 10 minutes gone. Possession relatively even. Momentum mostly against us, actually. So perhaps something's not quite ticking straight away. Analysis shows that Abdullah's pushing far back. Hillier's pushing quite far back as well. And Kolodinsky is all the way back. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop into this kind of shape. And, yeah, Kolodinsky, let's take you off defend. Just put you on support. Because I'm hoping that will stop him from sitting back so much. And move himself a little bit further forward. Okay, so momentum has kind of been wrestled back. Possession has also been wrestled back, but still no shots to speak of. So shoot on sight then. Get some shots away. Just for good practice, just for good measure. Just get some shots away. Still nothing yet, and it's been half an hour. To be fair, maybe McKay and Takeda aren't the best pairing for this particular tactic, because one of them is deep lying playmaker, the other one is a good target player, which means that the cut in between the lines that you might be hoping for is not really going to happen. So yeah, maybe this combination of strikers doesn't really work for this tactic. Yeah, we can still win this. Keep going, guys. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna give them a bit of encouragement. And oh, here we go. Chadwick with the shot. Oh, good save. In fact, it wasn't a save, it was off the upright. Okay, so I've given them the encouragement. I'm gonna let them go until about 60 minutes. But if I do not see, or maybe even like Kolodinsky. Okay, there we go. There's my decisions made really. So Kennedy can slot in there, and then Ricky May's gonna come in for Takeda, and try and cut those lines a bit more. In fact, I'm gonna go a little bit odd with it. I'm gonna put McKay out wide, and just try and open up space for Ricky May. Like I want Ricky May to be the one carving through the middle, making those runs, looking for those lines, and ultimately trying to grab the goal here to win this game. Let's go for another encouragement, because it's still 0-0 and it's been all of us in this second half. So we've got to try and just grab the goal and get out of here. There we go. We've taken another shot. Keep going, guys. In fact, let's up the direction and the tempo with all that possession we've got. Try and put them under a bit more pressure. See if they can deal with it. Okay, Chadwick comes off, and that's my last sub made. Blaney Brom comes in. Really not long to go, but once again, look at this. It's just all us in the second half. We need to get a goal from this. Let's go attacking. Last couple of minutes. It doesn't look like anything's going to come from this, so it goes to penalties. Interesting stuff. Okay, so Hillier definitely takes. Composure, so Terrace also in you go. Scott McKay in you go. Jay Demetriou, yes. And then Kennedy, yes. And the rest I'm going to let go as they go. Relax. Pick your spot. Let's see what we can do. Once again, we're on penalties in the first round of a cup competition for us. And Mila Hillier puts the first one away. 1-0. There we go. Great start. And now all we got to do is try and make a save, which we do not. It's a good penalty from Atkinson. Jones does go the right way, though, so I will take some confidence from that. Terrace lines it up. And misses. And now Arum for VCD steps up and... oh, wow, that looks like it was like a Panenka, like a chipped one. 2-1. And now we are chasing this shootout. We need a response there. That is a good response, but now we need a save from somewhere. Or a miss, of course, if they sky one, if they put one over the bar. Underwood. Come on, Dan Jones. There we go. That's a save. Jay Demetriou, the young gun, slots it away easy. And now the pressure is all on Howell, that VCD player. Come on! That's it. Come on. Dan Jones, 2 out of 2. Put this one away. It's going to be Kennedy. Put this one away, and we have got the win on penalties after being like 1 penalty down, which always feels like game over. Kennedy, slot it away. No! The pressure's got to him. Oh, goodness me. And now, Dan Jones, can you make it a hat-trick of saves? He can! Oh my goodness, yes he can! We've gone through on penalties. Dan Jones, a hat-trick of saves. My word. Goodness me, that was good stuff. You can see how early on here, all of their XG came early on. And then the rest of the game was just, it was completely us. We changed our shape quite significantly. Whereas obviously they were sat in their 4-3-3 kind of shape. They didn't really adapt. We kind of stayed exactly where we were. Dan Jones gets an 8.8, and I'm going to guess, I don't know if the penalties kind of comes into play on that, because I don't know. It's hard to give a man of the match in a 0-0 that goes to penalties. It's got to be the keeper, doesn't it? The keeper is the reason. Dan Jones is the reason we've progressed. There's no other reason. Of course, 3 of our players have scored penalties, so that's good. But Dan Jones is the one between the sticks, facing the pressure more than anyone else. You've got to give it to DJ, Dan Jones. Lovely stuff. Okay. Very happy we progress in the VARs, and we're going to get a nice, relatively nice payday for that as well. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. And we'll send the assistant to that one. 725 is good. Jones on form in the shootout. Yes, he was. Okay, I'm going to do a quick check on the finances, guys. So, we are at an overall balance of 130. We have been underspending by about 3k or thereabouts. Not really spending anything on the transfer budget. We were scouting a bit, but we've now drawn that back as well. Ryan Bickle. Good jumping reach. Good determination's a bit low. Heading's a bit low as well, and he's not the quickest. But yeah, just always good to check these players out when they get listed here. Who's on our shortlist? Ricky Baker, middle of the park player, young. Ed Pearson, again, another young kind of playmaker. Really nice stats, in fact. But look at the money that we would have to go in for that. And he's unambitious, which is not a great stat to have. But Ricky Baker, work rate, teamwork, determination, lovely. The pace is good, but even better is the kind of ability to stay on the ball. I'm going to say dribbling good. Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. That looks like a good player. But yeah, sorry, go back to the finances. I got distracted, but talking about the scouting budget. I've said I want this season to be a season where we kind of bounce back. Last season, obviously, we went a bit... we didn't go crazy spending money, like we didn't, but I was hoping we'd get the promotion, and alongside of that, I was therefore willing to kind of spend a bit of money on the wages, overspend a little bit, you know, make a few signings. This season, I'm trying to bounce back, and we're already at 22,000 profit from this season, which is ridiculous. You can kind of see that September alone, we've made 14,000. Is that profit? Or is that from... Is that like... Yeah, that is profit. So we're on 14,000. But the expenditure... That's this month. I'm not quite sure I follow. If it says 14 there, but 7 here, and 7 is what this equals down here, then I'm not sure what that 14 is. Maybe that's not September. Maybe that's the previous month. But look at that, yeah, see all of that. That's crazy. Total income last season, 231, and we are like just starting this season, really. We're nowhere near halfway through. Lots of games to go. All those home games, all those extra home matches really does pay the bills. Okay. Basically, I'm trying to save some money. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to save some money and get the club into a slightly stronger position. And at the same time, of course, I'm also trying to... I'm also trying to progress and win matches and do good things. What is happening? Okay, there we go. No, I'm back where I want to be. Okay, here we go. Down, 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 down. Okay. We got the win. That's all good. Okay, 3-2. They had a better XG, but that was all early doors, and we just didn't really take many shots, which is interesting. GrayWayNorth is not going anywhere, so all of these people thinking they're going to be getting him. I recommend offering... He's got 22 months left. I'm not going to be paying him more. Okay, view the draw. There's a 200... Oh, my goodness. Okay. Oh, my word. Nope. Okay. Still 150 to go. I'm looking for well, I want a home game, but I'm just looking for our name to appear, and it still hasn't appeared. Oh my word! Maybe it hasn't. I missed it. I don't think it has. Oh, there it is. Oh, we're away. Dang it! Why? Games have been rearranged. Yeah, that makes sense. We kind of knew that was going to happen. Away again. Okay, that's more Vars games. That's fine. We're not worried about that. Okay, so 6 days or maybe even 5 days now until the Burnham match. There's a training schedule. In fact, let's do a quick check on how they play. It is wing play. Let's go... Oh, Chadwick. Yeah, okay, it's a bad cut. It's a bad cut. It's no more than that. But we've got the perfect person to come on, and that is what you got? Connell Jones, there you go. That is Jimmy Woods and Jay Demetriou. They are the midfielders to go. Okay, I'm going to hop out. We're going to come back. Next match, we're going to play the same tactic again, but we're going to see if the different kind of striker pairing is more effective. Righto, we have made it to dang it. We've made it to the... You know what, let's do my instructions. I don't always do my instructions. The Burnham game. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slight change to the setup. Having kind of reviewed the previous game, where when we swapped into this kind of setting, this kind of setup with the midfield, it did work. And we gained a lot of possession, and we just, in general, had the better time of it. So that's what we're going to do here today. We've got the different striker pairing. We've got the kind of slight edit to the tactic there. In which case, I'm actually going to save this as a 4-2-1-1-2 positive. So it's a bit of a variation. It's not really. It's still kind of playing the same kind of idea. But it is a different formation. It's just the midfield is rotated. That little triangle is rotated a bit, which I think is not a bad idea. Oh, no, let's... yeah, go give yourself a performance, and then we know what to do. Here we go. Trust you to make the difference. Go and have a good one out there, guys. And let's try and get a win. You know, last time out, sitting for a 0-0... Not that it was like a terrible game. It wasn't a terrible game, but we didn't really put our game out there very much. And we've kind of started today in the same fashion. Here we go. We've got the ball. Melbourne on the ball. Back to Abdullah. Into Woods, but loses it cheaply. Hillier does what Hillier does. Wins it back very well. Now, Boulay, get yourself a bit wider. Yeah, there we go. A little bit more dangerous position out there. And then maybe move down the... Oh, never mind. Oh, the keeper's made an error. The keeper's come out. Not sure why. Ricky May is one-on-one, but obviously having to deal with this ball in from McKay. It's a good ball in, and this is... I don't know, is this validation? Is this validation for me saying I wanted Ricky May you know, I think the striker pairing is a bit better with Ricky May out there as well, because he cuts the lines a bit more and gets himself into those dangerous areas. That was a really, really good start, and I'm going to give the encourage again. They don't respond always positively to that, which is interesting. How are we doing here? How are we doing? We're conceding shots. We've got a shot away. We're obviously better on the XG, but 0.8 of that is the goal when we were shooting into an open net. Okay, a bit better. Yeah, gaining a little bit now. That's good. Okay, their formation is just a 4-4-2. That's fine. Let's take a look at the league table as things stand. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're pressing relatively high here. They've passed through quite nicely. In fact, it's very good play, but Jones doesn't even have to save it because it's been sent miles over the bar. And that, again, has been headed over. Back post crosses are the danger ones. We know that. Okay, quick. Again, see, look at this. It's just a little bit... Maybe it is that defensive kind of... You need to be on supportive. You need to be on support. We'll save that again. Okay, yeah, fine. I always forget that it doesn't just save those. I wish it did. It's probably because it doesn't want you to accidentally overwrite a preset that you've made. Which does make sense, but then again, if you're going to give me the option to rename the save, the tactic, then I'm doing that anyway. Okay, good stuff. We are sat a little bit further back, so... Are they pressing? That's a question. You know what? I'm going to rotate. Oh, no, not like that. I'm going to rotate like that. Takeda slots in to a slightly different shape. In fact, with that, can I get your instructions? Yeah, roam from position. Go and move around. Go try and pick up the ball from wherever you can. So, McKay obviously played a killer pass to get the ball to Ricky May. It was a very good pass over the back line. Really, really good. And we are 1-0 up because of it. And we are playing relatively well. We're doing good stuff. I think that change in the midfield was necessary. And on top of that, I think maybe in the second half, with Melbourne not on defensive duty, more willing to connect up with the other midfielders and create a little bit more going forward, we should be all right to get through the end here. But another goal would be very, very good. Okay, Bambrook, off you come. That's the yellow card. I guess, yeah, Kolodinsky, that's not a bad idea. And Connor Jones can come on in a bit, but doesn't really need it right now. Although, just for the sake of, like, saving legs, maybe we will. There we go. Okay, just over 15 minutes to go in this game. Melbourne's done well to win the first ball, but is not able to win the second. Oh, Terrace is committed to that. And they've missed. Oh, my word. We're just lucky. We're just lucky here today. Our opponent's finishing has not been up to scratch. Whereas ours has been... Well, we scored an open goal. Okay, never mind. Our finishing's been much better. We've scored a free kick as well. Come on, Jay Dimitriou is a find, isn't he? He is a very good player that we've grabbed this season. Obviously, just what is he, 16 or 17? Super young. 16 years of age. We've got him for another 2 seasons at a minimum on this contract. I mean, he might deserve more than that. Because he is doing good work for us. Okay, really, really good stuff, guys. We're going to praise him. We're just going to get through to the end of this game. Because they're going to potentially go on attacking. So we'll drop it to balanced and just see this one out. We're up to third, which is lovely. Only 1 point off the top now, which is just absolutely brilliant. Hamworth Villa losing. Virginia Water losing to Brighton Ropes, who have jumped a lot of positions with that win by the looks of things. And that's it. There we go. An absolutely solid 2-0. And to be honest, those little edits, I think, are very, very good for us. They are very good for that particular... Yeah, I'm very happy with the way we played there. Everyone should be delighted. Everyone should be looking good because that was a great performance. That was just a controlled game. Score the open goal, but it is a very good pass from McKay. Score from the free kick. There was a couple of times where it looked like our opponents should have scored, you know, but their finishing wasn't on. And if their finishing's not on, that is not my problem. That is not my fault. So I'm not going to even think about it. 2-0, absolutely brilliant. FA Cup games, of course, we're not involved. And next time we will have a big game against Bedfont. That will be tough. McKay got an 8.1 and he came off. We subbed him off. You know, we saved his legs. We subbed him off. Absolutely brilliant. So, 2 wins in today's episode. Why is it... That's interesting. Oh, there we go. It wasn't split up into the months. Usually it is, and then it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. Okay, so, Bedfont up next. What are the... Windsor. Oh, that's going to be a tough... Oh my goodness, that is going to be a tough month. Goodness me, at least we've got a big old rest before that Windsor game. Look at that, goodness me. Oh my word. Okay, so next time out, what we will do is we will play 3 games, 3 Saturdays in a row. Bedfont, important match. We'll take a draw if we can get it. We should beat Kodak, and then it's another Vars game in the first round. So we'll kind of bookend that episode with another cup game, a Vars match this time. Then potentially the next Vars round might be in October again, or it might be at the start of November. If it is at the start of November, then we'll split November into 2 and just play 2 and 2. Or potentially if it's here, then what we'll do is we'll play 3 and 3. Doesn't really matter to me, but I do like the kind of dividing the episodes up to kind of match the months as they go and stuff like that. So we wanted to start with the Vars game and then end September, which we have done. What I will do is I will sim forward to the Bedfont match. So we know who's available, we know who's fit, we know everything we can possibly know before we go into that. But before we go into that, I'm going to quickly edit this like that. Hit the save on that, because that seems to be a really important change, that we go from having Melbourne kind of sitting back here, really careful with the rest of the pack, to being willing to join the midfield and roam this kind of area, connect with Woods, connect with Hillier, and ultimately get the ball to our attacking players a little bit more. And I really don't mind this idea either. This could also look very, very good, where it's a 4-2-1-2-1. So again, I'm going to save it, and it's going to be a bit of an interesting kind of methodology here. If we go to load our tactics, we've got so many slight variations on the tactic, but that's good. That's what we need. We need to build up a nice repertoire of tactics for whatever we come up against. Okay, good. So we're going to sim forward. There might be some other games played in the league before we get to that Bedfont match. So yeah, that's what I mean by we will understand everything. We'll have all the information before we head into that. So let's get to that. Right, so there we go. That is what the table looks like at the moment. Now, it's really, really interesting that Bedfont have not lost a game. Of course, we've only lost 1. It was against Camberley. It was a 4-1, a bit of a hiding, to be honest. But they have not lost a game. But they've got 3 draws, which is interesting. And look at that. It's Ottershaw, it's Hanworth Villa, it's Fisher. It's it's teams at the top end of the table, which means they are not invincible, but they are hard to beat. No doubt about it. We are tied for the most amount of goals. In fact, we are the best because of our difference. We have scored the most, but when it comes to conceding goals, we're not quite as low down as we would hope to be. Now, obviously, South Reading are a little bit of an outlier to the stats there, because they've only played 4 games, and I really don't understand how they've only played 4 games. The first game of the season was against us. It was a draw. So that's super interesting, of course. I don't know why they've only played 4. And if we look at their schedule, it's super weird. Look at this. They've only been playing their cup games. And in fact, they've lost their last 3 games, 2 of them on penalties, which is quite rough. And then look, there's cup games. There's cup games. There's cup games win on penalties. There's, again, another cup game. It's so odd. They're just, all of their games must have been getting rescheduled because of like the draw and the replay there and stuff like that. It's super weird. It's super weird. But now they are just in the cup, sorry, just left in the league, and you can see some of their months are gonna be horrible. So 5 in October, 3 in November, that's okay, but then look at that, 6 in December, 6 in January, 6 in February. They are gonna be so tired. Whereas our schedule does have 6 in January, but 4 in December, 3 in November, 5 in February, and then 5 in March. Like, it's so much more evenly spread out in a good way. I'm really confused with what's happened there. It's really odd. Anyway, I'm not going to pick the team now, even though I could. We've got a lot of the team. Everyone's on light or medium, looking good. No one's really, like, kind of blown us away in terms of their stats and things like that. Like, we're not playing badly, but they're also not playing like incredibly. Some people, I guess James Demetriou has blown us away, and Boulet's been good all season. But we're just, in general, we're playing good football. We're getting results. Obviously, the 2-0 looks good. The penalty, it is a result. You know, we still played a good game. We could have won it. And that result against Dorking, it does feel a bit unlucky. We've only lost 3 games this season so far, competitive games. One of them was on penalties. One of them was a hiding and we couldn't deal with the gegenpress. And then one of them was a very good performance in a losing game in the cup. So all in all, I'm very happy with where we are. I'm very happy with how we're going. Next time out, like I say, we will play 3 games and hopefully we'll stay in the Vars, get another draw, and maybe get another home game. Who knows? But next up's the big one, Bedfont. And I shall see you there. Thanks for watching, guys.